Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historian or by other historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources and music done by Carrera and anything else potentially interesting, check the under by the description below. Anyway, I am Aoxander, and hopefully we will be joined by the Golden Loon here sometime soon. And of course, you are you. Today is Saturday, aka Saturday, February 18th, 2023. Let's jump on into the history today, shall we? Starting us off in the year 3102 BC, the epoch, the origin of the Kali Yuga. What is the Kali Yuga? Let's see here. The age of Kali, demon, the age of darkness, the age of vice and misery, or the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Oh, how lovely. A complete description of Kali Yuga is found in the Mahabharata, Manu Smriti, Vishnu Smriti, and various Puranas. So, this is a Hindu thing. All right,
that is in English.
No, it is not. You're right. Well, it's translated in English somewhat, but yeah, that is Punjabi, I think. I don't know. India has a lot of different languages, but I believe the priority one is Punjab. But that's interesting. Over over 5,000 years ago, the epoch. So that's when their time started or something, or the origin of this specific part. You were talking to me the other day about how calendars are in cycles.
Yeah.
That's the start of this one.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. We got an execution, 1478. George, Duke of Clarence, was convicted of treason against his older brother, Edward IV of England. He was privately executed in the Tower of London, allegedly being drowned in a butt of Malmsey wine. In a butt of wine. What is a butt of wine? What is a butt of...
What the butt of a joke is.
Yeah, me. A buttload of what? Wow, a buttload is actually a unit of measurement. I would have never thought. A buttload of wine is 126 gallons of wine.
Ooh.
A butt is technically 2 hogsheads, but in terms we understand, that's 126 gallons. A standard wide barrel holds approximately 60 gallons of wine, so a buttload of wine is roughly 2 standard barrels. So they drowned him essentially in a double-sized barrel of wine. That's a rough way to go.
Yeah.
But, at least he went out drunk. Like, party time.
Tried to drink his way out of the barrel, did he?
I would. We've been joined by Muffin. Welcome to the show. We're going to move on up to 1503. Henry Tudor, later Henry VIII, was appointed Prince of Wales, the heir apparent to the English throne. Yeah, and the rest, as we know, is history. Remember what he did with it? I think Henry VIII, right? He did all this stuff to his wives.
I'm not sure. Was it the 8th?
I don't remember anymore. There's too many. Yeah. There's Edward the Fourth through the thousandth.
I don't know the English history, to tell you the truth.
Well, not just English, but French. There's a lot of 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. It's like, bro, get a new name already. Jeez. 1519, Hernan Cortez left Cuba for the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico with 11 ships and 500 men. And Hernan Cortez was a conquistador. He's the one who went in and conquered Tenochtitlan from the Aztec Empire.
Okay.
Moctezuma.
Yeah.
1634, Ferdinand II ordered Commander Albrecht von Wallenstein's execution. Another execution. What's with the day in executions?
I don't know.
Off with their heads. Pilgrim's Progress, 1678. John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress was published in Holborn, London, by Nathaniel Ponder. Well, I ponder who he was. Okay. Got another historic event here, 1745. Bonnie Prince Charlie's troops occupied Inverness, Scotland. Yeah. Scotland. So, yeah, if you're going to be talking about Scotland, you have to, say in a Scottish accent.
I wonder where he's from to occupy.
Well, he was a quote-unquote pretender to the British throne.
Oh, okay.
So he was trying to start like a whole thing to retake what he said was his throne. Okay. So it started a whole civil war in the UK, or in England. And, he's known as the pretender, so obviously it didn't work out for him. So,
okay.
Yeah.
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 Obviously it didn't. If that's his nickname, it did.
Yep. 1814, the Battle of Montreuil, victory of French under Napoleon Bonaparte against Austrians and Württembergers under the King of Württemberg. That's an interesting name, the Württembergers.
Yeah.
Was that like a burger but worse? Like worse than burger? I don't know. We got the American Party. In 1856, the American Party, apparently know-nothings. That's kind of rude. Convened in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to nominate its first presidential candidate, former President Millard Fillmore. Huh. So,
He was a president.
yeah, former president.
Former president.
Yeah.
Re-electing him.
Well, yeah.
In another party, I assume. Well,
Yeah.
It's their first one, so it had to be.
I wonder why they're called know-nothings, because I don't know. That seems... Why are they called know-nothings? What? Hold on a second.
Well, maybe their enemies nicknamed them that.
Here we go. The party received its unusual name from the fact that when members were asked about the organization, they were supposed to reply, "I know nothing." By the mid-1850s, the know-nothings had grown in popularity and adopted their official name, the American Party. Wow, so they're like just a secretive party that just didn't talk about themselves outside, like
Yeah.
a secret society.
Yeah.
And then they made themselves the American Party.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And that answer stuck with them.
Yeah. All right.
Became their nickname.
We got the Chinese Rebellion in Sarawak, 1857. Chinese residents in the fledgling state of Sarawak rebelled against the White Raj, James Brooke. So that has to be, because he was the first White Raj of Sarawak. And Raj, of course, is India.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Well, yeah, like, you know,
That was my question.
yeah, and as we know, the British Raj was, you know, what India became.
Mm-hmm.
So they called themselves, you know, the British called them the Rajas or
Okay.
whatever. So he was like the White Raj, Raja, not Raj, but Raja, which was ruler of Raj or whatever. I think I know I'm probably very wrong, but at least the key points are right. You know, India was a British colony and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, they appointed themselves as the leaders.
Yeah.
So, and India, you know, has a border with China, so there's a lot of Chinese communities in India. A lot of there were a lot of India communities in China.
Not so much anymore.
No. 1861, Confederate President Jefferson Davis was inaugurated in Montgomery, Alabama. You know, Civil War. So, I still don't know why he was like. We pardoned him for all of his crimes. Like, he started a rival nation. I mean, like, you know, yeah, that's the American spirit, you know, in a nutshell right there. You know, don't tread on me. But
I think the thinking was to unite the country back together. And that's the foundation of why they're pardoning them.
okay, that would make sense. 1861, King Victor Emmanuel II of Sardinia became the first king of Italy. And that's a lot of things. A lot of people don't know. Italy, of course, before Rome, you know, was a bunch of, like, you know, city states and such that Rome conquered and, you know, made it themselves. But then after the fall of the Western Roman Empire, they just kind of scattered again. And it wasn't until like a couple hundred years ago before they were reunited back into Italy. So Italy has been broken up at least twice, maybe 3 times, I believe, throughout all of history.
Didn't realize that.
Yeah. So, you know, that's why 1861, you're like, you know, hey, you know, Rome, you know, it's been around since way before that. Like, what happened? Like, you know, they dissolved. So, Statue of Liberty, 1879, sculptor Frederick Augusti Bartholdi was awarded a patent for his design for the Statue of Liberty. All right.
I guess the way for the construction of it, you mean? Would that be what a patent would be?
A patent would be like the design. For his design of the statue. So if anybody else tried to copy that and make money off of it, then he can legally go after him because it's copywritten. Unless, of course, it's made in China. So, got a historic event here, 1884. Russian police seize all copies of Leo Tolstoy's book, What I Believe in. Uh-oh. We already know. He probably didn't believe in what they believed in. We got another historic publication, 1885. Mark Twain published The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn in the U.S. Big book.
Yeah.
Big book. Controversial with, you know what, Jim. So, yeah. We also got another historic event here. 1901, Winston Churchill made his maiden speech in the British House of Commons. Ooh.
Maiden speech.
Maiden speech. So his first speech in the House of Commons. And then he would continue on in the politics of the UK up through the Second World War. Like, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, he had his ups and downs politically. That's for sure. They kicked him out once, and he came back and became a major prime minister for World War II.
Yep. 1902, Julius Masset's opera Les Jongleurs de Notre Dame premiered in Monte Carlo. Okay. Got another music premiere here. 1903, In Dahomey, the first black U.S. musical, black U.S. musical to perform on Broadway, opened at the New York Theater, starring George Walker and Burt Williams with music by Will Marine Cook. All right.
First, that's a major breakthrough.
Yeah. You have all these people going around like, oh, blah, blah, this, that. I'm not going to preach what they say. But, like, 1903, you're on Broadway.
Yeah.
Why are you crying? Like,
well,
I mean, like, yeah, but, for the most part, everything is pretty much solved. Why don't they look back at things like this, be like, hey, look at how far we've been, let's continue on, let's not, go to war with everybody else, let's just try to unite and find our similarities, not our differences. That's how you win.
During, what is it, the Black Month or whatever it is?
Black History Month, February?
Yeah.
So this month?
Let's hope they honor different accomplishments throughout the history.
Well, why is it segregated?
Along with the problems.
Why is it segregated into Black History Month? Why don't we have a Jew History Month? They don't want that. So
apparently some blacks do. I don't know if all blacks do, but
I really doubt that. A lot of. Anyway, let's move on up here. 1903, Dutch government of Abraham Kuyper was launched anti-strike laws. Huh. Well, that doesn't sound good. Basically, you can't talk any negative about the government. Well, then that's a great reason to talk negatively about the government.
Yeah.
1905, Frank Wodekine's play Hidala oder Sein und Haben, or Hidala or Being and Having, premiered in Munich. Okay. We got some more music history. 1906, Vincent de Indy's Jour d'été à la Montagne premiered in Paris. Okay.
Not bad.
Thank you. 1908, here's interesting. The first U.S. postage stamps in rolls issued. So, the little...
yeah, the little rolls.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, look at that.
There's a note on the roll stamps. That strikes me funny. I don't know why.
It's little things like that I love. I really should get back into researching writing for the history show the night before so I can catch things like this without just stumbling onto them.
Yeah.
So... 1909, Boston Red Sox trade Cy Young at the age of 41 to the Cleveland Naps.
That's pretty old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, now we have the Cy Young Award, Best Pitcher.
Yep. Got another historic event, 1913, French modernist painting Nude Descending a Staircase by Marcel Duchamp caused an uproar when shown in New York. Well, yeah, because naked. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did the mistake last year of looking this up, and yes, it was someone who was nude descending a staircase.
Oh.
So, you saw everything. We got an NHL record, 1919. Cy Denny of NHL Ottawa Senators scored record 52nd goal. Okay.
Yeah.
1922, Kennesaw Mountain Landis resigned his federal judgeship to give full attention to job as Major League Baseball commissioner. Wow, so he was a federal judge, and he resigned that in order to focus on MLB.
Yeah, the commissioner of baseball. He looks pissed.
The first one, yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of things happened involving him later on, scandalous things, maybe in a case of embezzlement. I don't know.
Really?
There is some things he was. I think he was voted out. Landis has been blamed for delaying the racial integration of baseball, but major positives during his time were the crackdown in gambling, the development of the farm system, and the annual All-Star game. So, but yeah, there's, as I said, there's other things.
Delaying of integration, my goodness.
Right here.
Can't say worse than that.
MLB Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis suspended New York Yankees outfielder Jake Powell after he said on Chicago radio he kept in shape by cracking African Americans over the head with his nightstick. Wow. Okay, so that was something else.
You wonder back in the day when Major League Baseball was all white, how much baseball talent the people didn't get to enjoy of different black athletes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Look at today, how many great black athletes we have.
Yeah.
You wonder how many then. Well, we know
not
a
just
few.
black. Like, isn't Sammy Sosa from like the Philippines or something?
Philippines or Cuba or somewhere. Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, a lot of Hispanics are really great baseball players.
Oh yeah, very much so.
So, and like Hawaiians
Especially
and
the
Japanese.
Cubans, they love baseball from day one, and a lot of good Cubans have come out of there and played, and a lot of great ones didn't make it over here.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. Anyway, let's move on up here. 1924, U.S. Men's Figure Skating Championship was won by Sherwin Badger. Okay. Got another historic event. 1924, U.S. Secretary of the Navy Edwin Denby resigned due to Teapot Dome scandal. Yeah, that was basically the Watergate of its day.
Oh. I haven't heard of it.
Teapot Dome scandal. I've read a couple things on that throughout the year and stuff. The Teapot Dome scandal was a bribery scandal involving the administration of United States President Warren G. Harding from 1921 to 23.
Bribery?
So, yeah.
I wonder who they're bribing.
The president was bribing people.
Yeah, I wonder who he's bribing.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Well, I don't even know.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, well, I'll just post this link in the underbar of the description because I don't even know exactly what happened. But in a nutshell, let's see if we can get something like that. Secretary of the Interior Albert Bacon Fall had leased Navy petroleum reserves at Teapot Dome in Wyoming, as well as 2 locations in California, to private oil companies at low rates without competitive bidding. The leases were the subject of a seminal investigation by Senator Thomas J. Walsh.
Okay,
so there we go.
That's bad. Either kickbacks are happening, or it's favors, or repayment, or something. That's bad. Low-ball bids, not competitive.
Yep.
All bad.
And Warren G. Harding was bribing people to stay quiet, I think, or he was bribing something.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we got an Olympic gold in 1928. Sonja Hende of Norway won the women's figure skating gold medal at the St. Moritz Winter Olympic Games, her first of 3 consecutive titles in the event.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
3 consecutive.
Yeah.
That's over 12 years.
Yep, it is. Once you're on the bowl, you got to keep going, got to keep training, got to keep going.
Wow. It's a long time to stay world-class competitive.
If you're going to be world-class, you got to be world-class. 1930, Richard Rodgers and Lawrence Hart's musical Simple Simon premiered in New York City. Okay. We also have, in 1965, church deacon Jimmy Lee Jackson was beaten and shot during a peaceful march in Marion, Alabama. His death 8 days later inspired the Selma to Montgomery marches. Whoa. Beaten and shot.
First saw that picture, it looked like Howlin' Wolf, the old blues singer.
Yeah, that's tragic. We were just talking about this, and a lot of lives, have been tortured and lost on both fronts.
Yeah.
From both sides. But look at the world today. The freedom and opportunity everybody has is astounding. As you said, yeah, we're not perfect, but we're better than most.
Opportunities.
Yeah.
Trying to kill them, but we want those. We want to keep them.
Yep. 1968, British guitarist David Gilmour joined progressive rock group Pink Floyd. Okay. Got another historic event. 1970, U.S. President Richard Nixon launched the Nixon Doctrine.
I'm not a crook.
I am not a crook. Nixon Doctrine.
I knew you'd say it. That's why I said it. You do it way better than I do.
Yeah. The Nixon Doctrine was put forth during a press conference in Guam on July 25th, 1969 by President of Nixon, and later formalized in a speech on Vietnamization in the Vietnam War, November 3rd, 1969. But what exactly, Nixon Doctrine in a nutshell? Let's see here. It was a foreign policy by the U.S. government announced by Nixon, whereby the United States would therefore support allies facing military threats with economic and military aid rather than with ground troops.
Okay.
So
wasn't going to fight for them.
Yeah. So we supply them and stuff, but we ain't going over there and shedding any blood, essentially.
Or boycott the enemy or whatever.
Yeah.
Try to economically help.
Yep. For further reading on that doctrine, please refer to the underbar of the description below. Anyway, 1972, John Lennon and Yoko Ono ended a week of co-hosting the syndicated The Mike Douglas Show in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Alright, so it's been a week since I reported on that. Because I remember 1 week ago, it's like, that's when he started. So it's like, okay. We have John Lennon, one of the greatest musicians of all time.
Yeah. And
then we have the Howling Chihuahua.
So, I had no idea. They hosted the Mike Douglas Show, I'll be darned.
For
I remember
a whole week.
The Mike Douglas Show, yeah.
We got the 15th Daytona 500, 1973. Richard Petty won his fourth great U.S. race by more than 2 laps from Bobby Isaac.
Jeez.
Wow. We got AMA, American Music Awards, the second AMA, 1975. Olivia Newton-John and John Denver won. Country Roads, Take Me Home to the Place I Belong, West Virginia. Music single, 1977. George Harrison released music single True Love from his 33 1/3 album. Okay, it reminds me of that Leslie Nielsen movie, what's it called?
2.5 Guns or something.
Hold on a second. Leslie Nielsen movie, Police Squad. All right, there we go. Not Slapshot. Come on, give me something. The Naked Gun. I remember that, like the Naked Gun 2 1/3 or something like that, or 3 1/3. Anyway, we got another Daytona 500, 21st Daytona 500, 1979. Richard Petty won after race leaders Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison collide with each other on the final lap. The first 500-mile race broadcast from start to finish. Huh. All right.
Not till 79? Amazing.
Apparently. We also have some more sports history. 1981, a 20-year-old Edmonton center, Wayne Gretzky, became the first player in National Hockey League history to score 5 career hat tricks before the age of 21.
Jeez.
Wow. Scored 5 goals and 2 assists in a 9-2 Oilers home win against St. Louis.
They call him the Great One for a reason.
Yeah. He should be called Wayne Greatsky. So, yeah. Or Way Too Greatsky. Yeah. I think he'll enjoy that nickname. 1984, Finnish ski jumper Matti Niakinen won the first of 4 career Olympic gold medals in the large hill individual event at the Sarajevo Winter Games. Okay. Film and TV history here.
There he is.
1986, anti-smoking ad airs for the first time on TV, featuring Joel Weiner. He died of smoking-induced lung cancer on October 10th, 1985. Wow, so he was in the commercial, and then he was dead.
Yeah, he's already... Yeah.
Ooh, that's rough.
He's filmed. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Obviously the family approved it.
Yeah.
So they'd fight it.
Yeah. Well, that reminds you of that one South Park episode where they were planning to kill the children to pass the message. So, like, it was something to do with, like, obesity and cancer or something. And then they had Cartman reading from cue cards. He's like, by the time you see this commercial, I'll already be dead. Wait, what? And then people started coming at him with a knife. He's like, oh, fuck! They're going to kill him to like, you know, push their point, their agenda.
Wait, what?
Yeah. 1988, Anthony Kennedy was sworn in as U.S. Supreme Court Justice. All right. 1989, A Better Man single released by Clint Black, Billboard Song of the Year, 1989. Never heard of him.
No.
But he looks very snazzy. You got the 32nd Daytona 500 in 1990. Derek Cope won after Dale Earnhardt shredded right rear tire on last lap.
Oh, man.
But once again, Derek Cope is the winner. Why is Dale Earnhardt up here? This isn't about him. It's about Derek Cope. I want to see a picture of Derek Cope. You know? Dale Earnhardt didn't win. You know, we see him enough already. We got some more sports history. 1991, Edmonton Oilers goalie Grant Fuhr returned to NHL after season-long suspension for substance abuse and shut out NJ Devils 4-0. Dang. So that's a good thing, right? Like, you know, he came back, sober, and then he just creamed him.
Yeah.
Nice. We got a world record, 1994. Dan Jansen skated world record 1,000 meters in 1 minute, 12.43 seconds. That's pretty quick.
Yeah, I think he's up in what's her name's territory up there in Minnesota and all up in there.
Oh, Alice.
Alice, yeah, I think he comes from that neck of the woods.
I thought Alice was from Wisconsin.
You're gonna get hate mail.
I know.
From a certain person.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. 1996, first ODI for Kenya national cricket team in Cricket's World Cup versus India. Sachin Tendulkar scored 127 asterisk. So even Kenya has fallen to the cricket.
Cricket.
Yeah.
Let's try not to say it.
No, you gotta say it. It's your catchphrase. 1998, Andrea Bocelli made his operatic debut as Rodolfo in La Boheme at the Teatro Comunale in Calgary. Or in Cagliari. Andrea Bocelli. You know that name very well.
Yeah.
Great opera singer. He's blind. That's why his eyes are closed. But Mom absolutely loved him.
Yeah.
So I think we have all of his albums like up to her passing. So I remember for Christmas I bought her like that one CD with all of his Christmas stuff. So we got another historic event here. 2001, FBI agent Robert Hansen was arrested for spying for the Soviet Union. He was ultimately convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Ooh, that's not good.
FBI agent, great.
Well, I mean, if anybody's going to be spying for them, it's going to be people in those inner circles and stuff. Let's not forget that Chinese nationalist who worked for NASA and leaked NASA secrets for 20 years, and nobody went after him because they didn't want to seem racist. So that's what they prey upon our what we view as a strength. 2004, Greg Meadows signed with the Chicago Cubs, the team he began his career with. Okay, that's cool. So he came back.
Yeah.
Welcome home. NBA All-Star Game 2007, the 56th National Basketball Association All-Star Game. Thomas and Mack Center, Paradise, Nevada. West beats East, 153 to 132. Most valuable player, of course, Kobe Bryant, the Mamba from the LA Lakers. Forward.
It's actually more of a guard, but they probably brought him in as a forward.
I used to think he was a point guard.
No, he was the off guard.
Okay.
But they probably brought him to the All-Star Game as a forward so they could bring in some other guards too that they also wanted. So they do a little dance like that once in a while.
All right.
Say there's 3 great guards they want to bring in, so they make one a forward.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. 2008, Loris World Sports Awards, Mariinsky Theater, St. Petersburg, Russia. Sportsman, Roger Federer. Sportswoman, Justin Henin. Team, South African Men's National Rugby Union Team. Okay. We got a knighthood. 2009, English fantasy author Terry Pratchett received a knighthood from Queen Elizabeth II at Buckingham Palace. Never heard of him. Terry Pratchett. Well, let's see.
Heard of Queen Elizabeth, though?
Discworld. I've heard of that word, but I've never heard of anything beyond that. The Shepherd's Crown, The Color of Magic. He doesn't have a lot of articles in here. He has a quote: "The trouble with having an open mind, of course, is that people will insist on coming along and trying to put things in it." Oh, that is very true.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm going to add that into the quotes channel right now, so give me a second. Where's the quotes channel? And what was his name? Terry Pratchett. Alright. Let's move on up to 2010. Bibliothèque Nationale de France purchased the memoir of Giacomo Casanova for 7 million euros. Casanova. Dang, that's a big name.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fictitious name, but no, that was a real guy.
No, he's real.
Adventurer, writer, and famous lover. Ooh. So, that's why Casanova is up along the same echelon as like Romeo.
Yeah.
We got, we were just talking, I was literally just talking about this with Carrera before the show.
Really?
The revolution in Ukraine. 2014, Ukrainian Revolution of 2014 began as protesters, riot police, and unknown shooters, that's us, took part in violent events in the capital of Kiev, culminating after 5 days in the ouster of President Viktor Yanukovych, which we started that revolution with our covert black ops, behind the scenes, shadow government crap that we do all over the world, in order to put in, what is it, Mendeleev?
I forgot. I don't know. But
whatever.
Yeah, that was Putin's guy. That's what got his ire going.
Exactly. And then we started building all those chemical facilities on the border. We started laundering money there, And the guy was pro-Western, so of course he'll bend the knee to all of us. He was our puppet. And then, so, that's what I was saying. Like, I am not a supporter of Russia. I am not a supporter of the Soviet Union. But you look at all the facts, and I cannot say that they were not well within the rights to do what they did.
No, they weren't within their rights, but
Yes, they were.
having said that, it goes back farther than that, too. We've had this conversation before. You go back to...
NATO shouldn't even exist because that was the direct opposition to the USSR. Without one, there should not be the other. End of story.
No, but
without yin, there's no yang.
There was the Warsaw Pact when the USSR dissolved, also dissolved. But what we did when they dissolved, we said we would not, from that point forward, expand NATO into any other country.
Which we did.
Of course we did. We have been on regular.
Well, not only were we not supposed to expand,
So
NATO
we've
shouldn't
done a lot of
exist.
things we shouldn't have done.
So, yes.
And they were going up into Ukraine, and eventually Ukraine probably would have become part of NATO.
Yeah.
And Russia's going, wait a second, I can't have that on my border.
So that's why I'm saying, like,
But
we
they
were
still
threatening
did
them.
not have, yeah. There's a lot of guilty people here for sure.
Yes.
You don't have.
I'm not saying.
to go and invade.
I'm not saying what he did was right.
Okay.
I'm saying it was justified.
That's
There's
wrong.
differences.
Yeah. In his head, yes.
That okay.
Obviously, that's why he
If someone pins you up against a wall with a knife, are you in your right or are you justified to stab them first? It's not anyone's right to take a life, but you're justified to do the action because otherwise you would be dead. You or them.
What upsets me now, moving forward, is that there's no talks of an out of this war. They just.
Yeah. Anyway.
What's it going to take to settle this thing?
Yeah.
Nobody's talking.
Yeah. Let's get back into the show before we start. Getting. I would love to have this conversation after. Seriously. 2016, Pope Francis questioned U.S. presidential hopeful Donald Trump's Christianity over his call to build a wall on the Mexican border.
What? What have to do with the other? Holy cow!
That's what I'm saying. Like, all of this is just a giant BS song and dance to just cause divisiveness and make people angry at each other rather than the powers that be who control all the stuff in reality.
So we even have the Pope hammering them, huh?
Yep. No, because and in all actual fact, they're all on the same side against you. So, got the BAFTA Awards, the 71st British Academy Film Awards, BAFTAs 2018. 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. Best Film, Guillermo del Toro. Best Director. And Best Actors, Frances McDormand and Gary Oldman. Well, I recognize 2 of those names. Guillermo del Toro, of course, and Gary Oldman. And we got an NBA All-Star Game, with this idiot again. 2018, held at the Staples Center, Los Angeles, California. Team Lee Idiot defeated Team Curry 148 to 145. Most valuable player, Lee Idiot James, Cleveland Cavaliers forward. That's what I'm going to call him from now, Lee Idiot. So, because there's nothing going on between these years here with him. 2019, 16 U.S. states, including California and New York, banded together to sue President Donald Trump over his use of emergency powers to build a border wall. Oh, here we go again with this wall.
Yeah.
So, God. And we got an election of interest 2019. Australian political parties hacked by a sophisticated state actor, Prime Minister Scott Morrison said, just months ahead of general election. Oh, how convenient. Look at that. We got the Laureus Awards. Never heard about these. 2019 is the Laureus World Sports Awards. Monte Carlo Sporting, Monaco. Sportsman, Novak Djokovic, the neck. Sportswoman, Simon Bills. Team, French men's national football team. Okay. We got an election of interest 2020. Just 3 years ago, Ashraf Ghani was declared the winner of Afghanistan's presidential elections 5 months after the vote. Fraud allegations meant recounting. So, yep, here we go. Recount. And then, let's see here. 2022, Storm Eunice, or Zeynep Nora, moved across Europe and the UK with gusts of 120 miles per hour, killing at least 17 people and cutting off power to millions of others. Jeez. So, before we move on into bursts and deaths, audience, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything you wish we had elaborated on, here? Anything you would have liked to say had you been here? Start dialogue in the comments section. Anyway, moving on up with the burst, but before we do, is Loon going to stay or go?
I'm going to head out.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, I liked it. Thank you.
I don't know what you have against bursts and deaths, but okay. I guess it's just boring. Anyway, 259 BC, we have Qin Shi Huang, founder of the Qing Dynasty and first emperor of a unified China from pardon me, from 220 to 210 BC. Born in Handon, so he served for 10 years, but hey, first emperor of unified China. That's pretty good. We also have Alessandro Volta, 1745, was an Italian physicist and inventor of the first battery, born in Como, Italy. Well, thank you very much for these, good sir. You know, these are great. He died in 1827. Rest in peace. We also have André Breton, 1896, French writer and poet, founder of Surrealism, born in Tincheburi, France. Died in 1966. Enzo Ferrari, 1898, Italian racing car driver and founder of the Scuderia Ferrari Grand Prix motor racing team and sports car manufacturer Ferrari, born in Modena, Italy. Alright, died in 1988. Oh wow, I was alive when he was. That's interesting. We also have Fazal Mahmood, 1927, Pakistan cricket fast bowler, 34 tests, 139 wickets, born in Lahore, Pakistan, died in 2005. Toni Morrison, 1931, a U.S. writer, Tar Baby, Beloved, Song of Solomon, first black U.S. woman to win a Nobel Prize in 2010, born in Lorain, Ohio. You know what, is this the book I'm thinking of? Yep, it was. Okay. Anyway, we got, the screeching chihuahua herself, Yoko Ono, 1933, Japanese artist, poet. I wouldn't even honor that word or dishonor that word by saying it in a description of her. And second wife of John Lennon, born in Tokyo, Empire of Japan. Ugh. She's 90. She's still alive? Man, that's unfortunate. Anyway, we also have John Travolta, 1954, a U.S. actor, Welcome Back, Cotter, Saturday Night Fever, Pulp Fiction, and singer Grease, You're the One That I Want, born in Inglewood, New Jersey. Alright. We have Dr. Dre, 1965, a U.S. rapper and record producer, Still Dre, the next episode, born in Compton, California. He's 58 today. He also owns Beats by Dre, I think, or licensed it out, I don't know, but he's involved in it somehow. I remember when Beats were by themselves, and then Dr. Dre got in there and, you know, ruined everything. So, anyway, we're going to move on up into deaths. Starting us off in 806, we have Tarasius, Patriarch of Constantinople, was born in 730. We have Kublai Khan, died on this date in 1924, was a Mongol emperor from 1260 to 1294, and founder of the Yuan dynasty of China from 1271 through 94, died at the age of 78. So, wow. Really, really cool. Martin Luther, 1483, German theologian and key figure in the Protestant Reformation, died at the age of 62 in 1546. Rest in peace. Michelangelo, 1564, Italian sculptor, painter, architect, and poet of the High Renaissance, David and Ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, to name a few of his great works, died at the age of 88. Man, a lot of great people passing away today. We also have Charles Louis Tiffany, 1902, a U.S. jeweler and founder of Tiffany & Company, died at the age of 90. Wasn't his birthday recently? Yeah, it was 3 days ago. Huh, that's interesting. We also have Frank James, 1915, a U.S. outlaw, member of the James Younger Gang, died at the age of 72. Gunfight or something? Nope, just died. Okay. We also have George Dayton, 1938, U.S. businessman, founder of Target Corporation, died of cancer at the age of 80. Well, we still go to Target, but you know, not as much as we used to. We go too much, because they did some things politically that I strongly disagree with. Anyway, we have Joseph Gilbert Hamilton, 1957, was a U.S. physician who was a pioneer of using radioactive isotopes in disease treatment and diagnosis. Died of radiation-induced leukemia at 49. Oh my God, how ironic! Wow. We got Robert Oppenheimer, ooh, big name there, 1967, a U.S. theoretical physicist known as the father of the atomic bomb, Manhattan Project, died of throat cancer at 62. I am become death, destroyer of worlds. Frank Costello, 1973, Italian U.S. gangster, the prime minister of the underworld, died of a heart attack at the age of 82. Man, he lived way too long. Who else did we lose on this date? Dale Earnhardt, 2001, U.S. auto racer, got 7 NASCAR Winston Cup Series championships, died in a plane crash died in a crash during Daytona 500 at the age of 49. I remember that. 2001. No. And I actually had a friend back at the time called Taylor Earnhardt, and he said he was cousins or something with Dale, and I think he was full of crap. So, and yeah, that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things OMNI Coalition. For your dose of Passive Events Daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander, and you are you. Don't forget to look right and left until you catch us tomorrow. Don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs and subscribe.